Hello, everybody. My name is Mary Hendrick, and I am the program coordinator for the MSc in Software Solutions Architect program. And I was involved in the early development stages of the program as well. And we've recently had a revalidation of the program, so we have updated it to take into account what's happening in the industry as well, with particular focus on areas such as AI and sustainability. And certainly we keep, very much a development approach to the course. So as Jamie was saying, it was developed in partnership with Technology Ireland ICT SkillNet. And again, uniquely designed to cater for current software architects who may wish to get qualifications in the field, and also graduates in related fields looking to progress into the emerging fields of solution architecture as well. So successful graduates of this program are eligible for associate membership of IASA, and that is the Institute for Architecture Software Association. And you can actually, I suppose, apply for other membership elements in that organization as well. And we won the Best Professional Development Award, as Jamie was saying, at the Tech Excellence Awards in 2018, and we were probably one of the first in the world to actually develop such a master's as well. And there have been a few evolutions in other countries since. So, I suppose, really one of the most important things is the purpose of the program. And it's really about, creating solutions for business problems using information technology. So it's marrying together both the business aspects and the technology aspects. And again, responding to the evolving demands in a very changing world in the software architecture landscape. So we designed a program to be highly engaged and encouraging practice. And we have a lot of case studies. We have guest speakers who come in from industry at senior C-level, and they give practical examples. And we have a strong theoretical approach as well. So this provides learners with a basis to develop their skills and their knowledge, and also to critically reflect on their approach and what they're achieving as well. Now, we will see that, again, it is at a level 9 master's program level, and we deliver in blended mode. So generally we have an induction in January. It'll be the 24th to 25th of January, where you actually come on site. So we're based in the Tala campus, and this gives you a great opportunity, we have classes, in your modules, but also you get to meet all the other students from the second year and those who are completing their dissertations as well. There is a poster presentation colloquium, and we have some past graduates who actually deliver and give presentations at that as well. So it allows you to get a feel for the course and, see the type of work that is being conducted as well. And I suppose to meet everyone, which is really important also. So, and then we will have schedules, and we will operate normally 2 evenings per week, generally from 6:30 to 9. That is usually delivered in online approach using Microsoft Teams. And we record everything, and that can all be accessed remotely afterwards using our virtual learning environment tool, and we use Brightspace for that. So it's a 90 credits program, and I'll show you the breakdown of it shortly, the programs or the modules that comprise that. And of course, it's part-time over a 2-year period as well. The entry requirements are level 8 or equivalent, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly as well. So here you can see the modules that are part of the course, and we show them in the semesterized version. There are 6 10-credit taught modules over 3 semesters, and we also have a research methods module, and that's 5 credits, and a research project, which is 25 credits, and Gary Clinch will talk about that in a little while. So from an assessment perspective, most of the assessments the exams are assessment based, and that's 100%. So we just have maybe one exam for one of the modules where you come on campus, and also for your dissertation, when you complete it, we have an on-campus event then for the poster presentation. Now, in semester 1, then you will be looking at business technology strategy and IT architecture design. Now, I teach on the business technology strategy module, and again, that's focused on developing skills in aligning business needs with technical solutions and creating value for the company, and looking at frameworks and methodologies and, latest techniques as well to enhance that approach. IT architecture design then is looking at the different frameworks and models and getting an understanding of that component within the organization. The IT infrastructure and automation then in semester 2. So semester 1 starts in January and ends around May, and then semester 2 will commence in September and will run until December. And of course, semester 3 then will start again the following January. So that's our mode of operation. With the IT infrastructure and automation, there's a focus on, cloud, IT infrastructure and cloud in particular, and, applying different techniques there. The human and organizational issues then I deliver also, and that one is very much focused on the really important people skills that are required for the software solution architect's role, in particular communicating with different stakeholders, being able to negotiate solutions, win approval for them, and collaboration as well, and leadership and other aspects that are important in the role. And we do have guest speakers that come in, and they come in on a number of modules, and particularly in the business technology strategy and the human and organizational issues modules. IT architecture and practice then, which commences in semester 3, is about creating, IT architecture, I suppose, specifications and so forth, and presenting them and negotiating them, and winning that kind of approval and understanding how everything really fits together there as well. So developing the skill sets that you've learned in the earlier semesters and bringing them all together. And the IT architecture quality attributes focuses very much on, looking at, I suppose, things like constraints and, how to improve the way you perform the architecture approach, and looking at the different issues that sometimes emerge in that area. And of course, as I say, Gary will talk about the research methods and the research project a little bit further shortly. Now, so we want to develop, software solution architects that have the necessary technical skills, and you can see that how that maps to the modules that we present. We want you to have well-rounded skills and the need to understand the business and the technology, and also to equip you to make strategic technical decisions to add value to your organizations, and also, as I say, get the expertise to communicate and influence multiple stakeholders as well. So you're really looking at ensuring the project not only works, but also that it aligns with the broader goals of your organizations as well. And very much bridging the gap between innovation and practical implementation, and really, looking towards the future, developing approaches that are necessary as we move forward in a rapidly changing industry. Now, just went a little bit back there. Okay, so the eligibility requirements, you need a level 8 in computing or IT or a related discipline, and a minimum of 2 years experience in technology related roles. Now, if you are outside the EU, you could check your qualification using the NARIC database to see how it maps to the EU specifications, and that's online, and you can actually create a certificate for that. If you have studied or undertaken your 3rd level studies in another language, well, then there's a requirement for an English language certification, and you will find more details on this on the TU Dublin website, which identifies all the options available and the standard required for those options as well. For example, Duolingo and so forth. If you have a non-standard application and it doesn't quite fit into the other areas that we've just mentioned, there is a process called RPL, which is recognition of prior learning, and this we assess on an individual basis. So we will be in contact with you, and we will, review your different components, your CV and your qualifications, and we will identify maybe areas that need to be considered, or to check what your other qualifications are and how they fit in relation to the necessary requirements. Now, so we mentioned earlier that we would have the induction weekend in January, and we have set the dates, the 24th and the 25th, and they will be on campus in Atala campus. There is an academic calendar that is available on the TU Dublin website, and that shows when the exam periods are for your semester one. It's 100% CA, so that you'll get a schedule from your lecturers. You'll get a schedule for the semester with all your modules, and then you'll get an individual schedule for your each module, and it will identify when the assessment periods are. We also have a student handbook, and we will issue that to you as well, and that provides a lot of information, and most of that information is also available on the TU Dublin website as well. Now, once you've registered and with TU Dublin, you will be issued with the Microsoft 365 account, which allows you to access all the Office solution software, MS Teams and so forth. And you'll also be set on our virtual learning environment, which is called Brightspace. And all our materials are posted there for you, so you can access the videos and slides and any other materials that are provided for you. We also have a very good library service, and we have technology services as well. And there's many other services as well, which you will be able to access as well as being a student of TU Dublin. So our key features then, our students are engaged, they're enterprising, they are effective, they're inquiring, and they're developing expert knowledge in their field. And they're getting a qualification for that, which is regarded by industry players. And we see the evidence of that with the level of guest speakers we have, who are all at Chief Information Officer level, at C level in the organizations. So these guest speakers are very interested in, delivering information to students studying on these modules. We have the on-campus induction with new students, which is very important, allows us to get to know each other a little bit, and also, for you to feel part of the university as well. The research project colloquium, which Gary will talk about, again, we have our graduate guest speakers, and some of our guest speakers are now lecturing on part-time programs. So we have a nice kind of follow through, and also you'll meet people from different industries, and there's learning from each other as well in that context, and it's a good environment from that perspective. And of course the IASA certification, and we usually have an event where those certificates are awarded to people on their graduation. So thank you for joining today on this part of the webinar to discuss aspects of our MSc in Software Solutions Architecture. And I welcome questions, and as Jamie said, we will respond to those later. So thank you very much, and goodbye for now.
Thanks very much, Mary. I'm going to hand over now to Gary Clinch, and Gary's going to be covering the dissertation component of the Masters and providing some key insights. Thanks. Take it away, Gary.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming along. I'm a colleague of Mary's. Gary Clinch is my name, and I teach on this architecture program, but I also am responsible for a sister program that we run with Technology Ireland ICT Skillnet, which is in DevOps. So I'm just after putting in a little URL there into the chat. I don't know if you can see that. Mary mentioned that we have a research element to the program. So we have a research project or dissertation that students do at the end, which is roughly 1/3 of the credits of the program. So everybody does 6 taught modules, 2 per semester. That would be 2 evenings per week for 3 hours. And that runs for 3 semesters, from January, starting in the spring semester, then following autumn, and then January. And then students start their dissertation or their project in roughly May, and then finish by Christmas with the help of a supervisor. We have Ellen here, who actually had the misfortune of having me as a supervisor. She might talk about that a little while. But in this research project, students get to pick an area that they're interested in, and whether it's very varied areas, it could be security, it could be containers, it could be serverless, it could be architecture, architectural patterns, it could be cloud, it could be generative AI, it could be testing. There's lots of different topics out there that students want to just find out about, that maybe are relevant to their work and the company they work for, the organization they work for, but they want to find out or compare and contrast tools or technologies that are just emerging, and to see whether they are good or bad from, my usability, performance, cost, and so on, and what alternative solutions might look like. So that's what the research project is about. So I've just put in a little URL there. We have a website where at the end of the day, the students produce a little poster, and we have an event where students present their posters. So in there, you can see all the posters for since 2022 for students on both the IT architecture and the DevOps modules or programs. So the research project is not something to be worried about. Most students pick something that they're interested in. You have to do all the taught modules first. So during the taught modules, for instance, your architecture design, your architecture and practice, and so on, you tend to generate some little ideas in your head that I might want to look like that at that topic. I might want to investigate it. So it's a hands-on type of research involving some sort of a prototype or a case study, and at the end of the day, some data is generated, some findings, and they are captured, and we ask students to produce a thesis, maximum 50 pages, and a poster, which captures the essence of the work that they've completed. So you can look there to see the different types of topics, and our next event will be the 24th and 25th. So any students, any of you attendees who are thinking of signing up for the program, Mary mentioned that there's an induction on the 24th and 25th of January, and that coincides with our poster event. So you will be all coming along to the poster event to have a look, and just to see what's at the end of the road. When you get to the end of your program, 18 months down the road, what would be in store. So that's all I got to say really about the research project. And look, we welcome any questions. Thanks very much, everybody, for listening.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. I'm going to just ask Ellen to come on screen, and Ellen's going to share her experience of completing the Masters.
Hello everyone. I am Ellen Mizera, and I work at Google as a solutions engineer. I started the master's program in 2021, and I completed last year in 2023. I have been working on the industry as a software engineer for the past 12 years, and I did my undergrad studies back in Brazil, where I'm originally from. Since I finished my undergrad studies, I moved to Germany, where I worked for a few years. And then 5 years ago, I relocated to Ireland to join Google. My career was very, very focused on the job itself. So I moved countries, I moved industries. I worked from like IoT to the food industry to advertisement, and I worked like in various size of company, from startups to big corporations like Google now. But even with all the experience in the industry, I really felt like I wanted to go back to the university at some point. As all my studies were completed back in Brazil, I wanted to have, to go back to uni and, go back to doing research and writing papers again. So then I learned about the ICT SkillNet and their sponsorship of the Software Solutions Architecture program, which is a great help because it really helps with the sponsorship and alleviating the costs of such a master's. So I learned about the program and I wanted to sign up for it. And as a software engineer, I was always very focused on coding itself. So the program in solutions architecture really helped me to expand the way of thinking about software, looking from a higher level perspective instead of like the narrow view of like just shipping code, right? And to help with that, the business strategy modules delivered by Mary Hendrick, who is on the call today, they were great in this aspect, opening up my views and skills on the business and on the communication side as well. And then throughout the master's program, we had so many modules on designing software, writing diagrams, and so on. And that's where I took my idea for my thesis, for my research paper. So my research paper was on using generative AI to not only create the software diagrams, but also to draw them. I worked on my paper during 2023, and you know well that in 2023, everything was just fast-paced in generative AI. Well, in AI in general, right? So it was a very interesting journey. Every week that I was writing my paper, I felt like my paper was getting outdated. But thanks to Gary Clinch, who is on the call and was my supervisor, everything went smoothly. I presented my thesis back in December last year, and then I graduated actually in March this year. But everything was done for Christmas, so it was a very happy ending of 2023 with my research paper in. And I highly recommend the program. Sharing the experience with my colleagues in the course was great because everyone was from a different industry. Everyone was in a different moment of their career. Some people like just joined tech, they were working for a few years, but we had some people like in the industry for like 20 something years. And that was really nice, you know, to get everyone in the same room and share the experiences. So the program was very accommodating if we're working full time. Which was something very important to me. I actually had like to defer 1 or 2 modules to accommodate some other things at work, and that was great. Everything was no problem. They accommodated everything easily, and yeah, I really recommend the program. So thanks for listening to me, and I'm happy to take any questions in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Ellen. I'm just going to invite all the panelists to come back on camera, and we'll run quickly through the Q&A. We've just a couple of minutes left. So I just have a question there from Anonymous, and it's, are there many group-based projects, or is there the option to work individually on CAs? I might give that to you, Mary, if that's okay.
Yes, most of the CAs would be individual, but there is an example in the human and organizational issues module where there is a group-based CA. Yes.
Okay, perfect. I have one question as well from Kevin Malloy. It's quite a long question. I might give that one to you, Gary, if that's okay.
Yeah, I've read it. Yeah,
you've read it, okay.
I suppose there isn't in the architecture program. There's not really a huge amount of coding, or it's more a higher level view, or at the at the pattern structure level of the system rather than coding. Now, if students want to do a dissertation topic that involves, a practical software solution and code, that can happen. But it's not a core part of the program by any means. Ellen, what would you concur, or what would you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. So in my case, my experience, like I always worked as a software engineer, and the course was great because it was like outside of coding. So we're doing, higher level, system design, how all the architecture components are going to communicate with each other. But like there was no coding. Maybe I did one thing or another, but just for the thesis. But that was the topic that I chose. But no coding required, right?
Great.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Gary. That's actually all of our questions. And I would say if anybody else wants to submit questions, send them through to info@ictskillnet.ie, and we're happy to direct them to Gary and to Mary and to Ellen. So I think that's it for today. As I said, if anybody else has any information or wants any information on the course itself, feel free to get in touch. Thanks very much, everybody.